My name is Nathalie Nahai and I'm a web psychologist, which means that I'm interested in how our online environments shape our behaviours, so how we get persuaded, mostly subconsciously, to take certain actions online. So at Digital Trendspot, I'll be talking a little bit about the psychology of storytelling, why it's so powerful, what makes a story more persuasive, how brands can use some of these psychological techniques to make their stories more engaging and to reach out and create better relationships with their customers. So persuasive story has to follow a particular kind of narrative arc, typically where you're engaging the viewer initially on something that they feel emotionally intrigued by. So mystery is a great way to start. So things like having a partially obscured view or creating something which is emotionally going to resonate with your audience so that mirrors their preferences, their needs. You've got to have some main blockages to overcome or challenges to overcome that the person has to go through, and you're not sure if they're going to succeed. So you get invested in the story, they go through this process, and eventually, it's a sort of a condensed version of the hero's journey, they come through their challenges with their guardians, their mentors, and they bring kind of the elixir of life or the solution back to whatever happened at the beginning. So there's one really surprising way that we don't tend to come across very often where brands can really turn around a situation to create really loyal brand advocates. And this is if someone's really pissed off at you, if they absolutely have had an awful experience with your brand. I'd send you an email, I'd say, look, I'm really sorry that you had X experience, I'd use your language, how can we make it up to you, would it help if we did this? Suddenly, because you've paid attention, they've got all this emotion invested in you already, because you've turned that around for them, they will then become the strongest advocates. So using anger to create advocates. So some of the ways that you can put your customer at the centre of the story is around mirroring. It's based on the fact that we all express ourselves in certain ways, and it's things like clothing, it can be makeup, the way you wear your hair, the gestures that you use. So there are some universals, and then there's sort of cultural differences and then individual differences. So if people are using expansive gestures, it shows that you can trust them at some level. So if you're trying to create trust online through a video, then you would use more expansive gestures. If a culture is perhaps very strict in terms of gender roles, then you would have to be appropriate to that if you're using a man or a woman. If the group that you're targeting is, say, high dopamine and they're the risk takers and they like excitement and novelty, you might want to make the videos shorter and more punchy. So mirroring sort of the likeness of your audience can be a really effective way to do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to speaking at Digital Trendspot to talk about the psychology of storytelling and how your brand can help use some of these crazy techniques sourced from science to help you tell your story better. So join us in April in London for Sitecore Digital Trendspot. Looking forward to seeing you.